Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn what are lists in Python. So let me introduce myself. I'm Suryanshu Singh. So what are lists? In Python, a list, as you can see, in Python a list is a sequence of mutable heterogeneous items enclosed in a square brackets, where the entire sequence is referred to by a single name, that is a variable. So in most of the other languages, there is some kind of sequence structure which is similar to the Python's list, and they are called arrays. But the thing with arrays is that they are homogeneous elements and they can't be changed once they are created. But in Python, the lists are dynamic and they can hold heterogeneous data items, that is, for example, like integers, floats, or strings. So yeah, let's see how to create lists. The first method is by enclosing the elements in square brackets. You can see that here. I just entered some numbers and list is created. Now we can also add multiple data types like strings mixed with integers and some float also. So yeah, you can see that list in heterogeneous structure is a heterogeneous data type. The second method is by using list comprehensions. So list comprehension is something that you will be using extensively while doing competitive programming. Okay, I will be talking more about it later in another video. It really simplifies our task. See, I enter like x square for x in range of 10. So range of 10 will return numbers from 0 to 9, and x they will be assigned, like first 0 will be written, it will be assigned to x, and we are in printing x square in the list. So for 0, x 0 will be printed, for 1 1, for 2, for x is equals to 2, 2 square 4 will be printed in the list. So in this way we can perform functions in just one line using list comprehensions. Another method is by using the built-in function list, which is used to create empty list. Okay, syntax. Yeah, see, now list B is created. Now the fourth method is using by the eval function. So eval function is used to like we can use eval function to create a list by just directly entering a list in the input. Let me show you. Eval input will give a message for the user. It is asking for me to enter a list, so I will enter a list. See, now the list queue will be created. In this way we can create lists using any of the four methods. Now let us see how to access elements in a list. Positions in list are defined by indexes, and in Python there are two methods to access the elements using index. One from starting from 0, and another reverse indexing, backward indexing. So here you can see a list with 10 numbers from 1 to 10 stored in a variable named L. So let me define that first. Okay, so as we can see, the element 1 has an it is the first element in the list, but its index will be 0. Always the index starts from 0 and goes till length minus 1, that is, so the length of the list is 10, so index will go from 0 to 10 minus 1, 9. So we can access the first element by entering index 0. First we will use a variable in which this list is stored, and then square brackets with the index in between them. It will return the value of the first position, that is 1. Similarly we can check index 4, that will be position 5, as you can see here. 5 is at index 4, so it will return 5. In this way we can access the elements of the list. Also there is a way known as backward indexing in Python. In this the indexing starts from minus length to minus 1. As you can see here, first element has a index of minus 10, as the length of the list is 10, so its first element index will be minus length, that is minus 10. We can check that from here. I am entering minus 10. It will return the first element, as you can see there. Also if I give minus 1, it will return the last element of the list. In this way we can access the different elements of the list. So now let us see what is list slicing in Python. So the syntax for the list slicing, as you can see, is variable is equals to list, then start index, all these are indexes, start index, stop index, and step. I will explain you what is that. So here you can see that we have the previous list from 1 to 10. Now what indexing means is that when we for the starting index we put something like 1. So 1 is the index value of 2. From 1 to stop index I will give 4. So 4 is the index value of 5. So it will return me the elements from 2, 3, 4. First I've given the starting point as 1, so the index of 2 is 1, so it will start from 2, and then the ending point is 4, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at 4th index 5 is there, but it will always take from stop index minus 1, that is index number 1, 2 and 3, and at 1 2 is there, at 2 3, and at 3 4. So it will return from index 1, 2, 3. Let me show you another example. So let me give from index number 2 to index number 9. So 9th is the last element of the list. Okay, in index number 9 is for 10, but it always gives one less than what the stop value we have given, so it will return from 3 to 9. Okay, so let us see what step is used for. We are giving starting point as 1, stop as 8, and step value as 2. So what step will do is that it will give alternate elements, like first index, after that third, after that fifth, after that seventh, as 8 will not be printed. So at first 2 is there, at third 4 is there, at fifth 6 is there, at 7 8 is there. Also we can use index, like if I don't give any value for this start, so it will get to default as 0. So let me give as stop index as 5, so it will return from 0 to index number 4, as you can see, 0 1 2 3 4. Similarly, if I don't give this stopping point, it will take the list till the end. It will return the whole list. Now we can also reverse this list using list slicing. As I have not given the start index and the stop index, it will take the whole list, and then I will be giving step as -1. What it will do is it will go in the reverse direction, like -1 starts from here, it will go like this. It will reverse this list and print it, as you can see it. So this was list slicing. So now let us see what are the operations that we can perform on lists. The first one is updating list elements. So let us see how we can update list elements. So let me define a list first. Okay, so this is a list 1 2 3 5 6. So like we want to change the element at index 0. What we have to do is just define a single statement that says L of 0 equal to the value what we want to give it to. Let us give it 9. So now you can see the index value of 0 is changed from 1 to 9. In this way we can change the value of list. Now second operation is joining list. We can join two lists using just two or more lists using just a simple addition operator. So let me define as a list. Okay, so L is list 1, L2 is list 2, and I am giving L3 as L plus L2. Now L3 will be the addition of both the lists. Similarly, we can join more than two lists. Now the third one is replicating lists. So let us see what it will give. Let me define L again as just 2. So what replication does is, like we do L into 3, so it will multiply the elements of the list by the number of times we give it to. Like it will multiply here, it will multiply the list with element of the list 3 times. It will increase the number of the elements that times 3. Okay, let me define this. As you can see, we can replicate the list element using multiplication operator. Now let us see some inbuilt functions that are very helpful in doing list operations or managing lists. First one is how to add elements to the list. For that we use list.append. So append is a function that is used to add elements at the end of the list. So here we can see L2 is the list 5 1 123. So what we have to do is just L2 dot append and the element we want to add, like we want to add 8. So it will add 8 to the end of the list, as you can see there. L2 dot append you can see it adds all the elements that we give at the end of the list. Now the next there are 3 functions for deleting or removing elements from list. Based on the different situation we can use any of them. First one is list.pop. What is does this list.pop is used to remove the element from the list using its index, using the element's index, and it also returns the deleted value. So many times we need the deleted value to be used in some cases, so we can use this function in that case. Like we have L2, so L2 dot pop, we will give the index we will give as 0, so it will return the value as 5, and also the 5 will be removed from the list L2, as you can see here. Now the second function, it is a statement, not a function. Del statement is used to remove the element from the list using indexes. It will not return the value, not the deleted value. Also we can in case of index we can use list slicing to delete multiple elements. I am showing you here. This is list L2, so we can write del L2 from 1 to 3. It will delete the element at index number 1 and index number 2, that is 123 and 8. So you can see L2, these two elements are deleted from here. So delete statement can be very helpful when you want to delete the elements, more than one element in a list. The third function is list.remove. It instead of, unlike the other two functions, it uses the value of the element instead of the index. So if you don't know the index which you want index of the value you want to remove, you can directly use the value and it will remove the first occurrence of the value from the list. Let me show you. Let me define just another list. Okay, so we have to just give the value like L dot. It will not return the deleted value. L dot 1 is the value. I'm not giving here index, so 1 will be removed from the list. So we can see there are 2 times 3 there in the list, so it will remove the first occurrence of 3. As you can see here, the first 3 is deleted from the list. Okay, so let us see some more functions that are really helpful while using list. So the another one is insert function. So let us, if we want to insert an element in between the list or at the end or beginning, insert function can be very helpful in that. So here we have a list L 2453. So let us use the insert function. Syntax is simple: list dot insert index at the value, the place at which we want to enter the element, and the new data item that we want to enter. So we use L dot insert index. I'm giving as 1, so it will be after 2 0 1. At 1 there is 4, so 4 will be shifted at the right side, and the new element will come in between 2 and 4. Index comma new element, I'm giving 1. So as you can see, 1 is inserted at the index 1. Okay, let me do another insert like 3. At 3 I want to insert 80. So you can see at index 3 0 1 2 3, at index 3 80 is added, inserted. So insert function can be really helpful. Also so the next function is reverse. It is simple, just as the name suggests, it will reverse the list. So we have list L here, and when we use L dot reverse, it just reverses the list. That's we can use slicing also instead of the reverse function, but using slicing in this way will not affect the original list. As you can see, it returns the reverse list, but the original list still remains the same. If we want to use slicing, then we have to use it like this. So now the list will be reversed. The next function is sort. It is very helpful function. Syntax is simple: list dot sort compare function. The compare function here means that it will be some kind of a user defined function that we want to use as a condition to sort the list. There can be different conditions that user want to sort the list on the basis of which we can do that. Also reverse is equals to true false here states that list dot sort will sort the list in ascending order by default, as the reverse value will be equal to false by default. But if we set it to true, then it will sort the list in descending order. Okay, let me show you that. So we can see the list is here 2 1 4. Let me define a new list. The new list is 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm going to use list dot sort. I'm not giving any argument, so by default reverse is equals to false will be there, and it will be sorted in ascending order. So the list is already in ascending order, so you can't see any effect. Let me show you by reversing it in descending order. Okay, the list is reversed now in descending order. It is sorted on descending order. Okay, so this will look like just reversing the list. Let me define a new list. Okay, so this is the new list. I'm sorting the list in ascending order without giving any argument. The list is sorted in ascending order. Now let me again define this list. Now I'll sort it in descending order. by giving reverse is equals to true. Now the list will be sorted in descending order. So you can use sort function to reverse to sort the list in ascending or descending or any other condition you want by using the compare function argument. So the next function is index. So index function, as the name suggests, it gives the index of the element that you give. So we have list, this L list. Now we want the index of say 2. It will return us as 4. Okay, 3. Okay, yeah. If we say index of 5, there are 2 5s in the list, it will return the first occurrence of 5. Okay, you can see it returns the first occurrence of 5. Now max, min and sum, these are the functions, just as the name suggests they will work like that. I'll show you. We have list L. When we use the max function, it returns the max value of the list, that is 63. When we use min, it returns the minimum value of the list, that is 1, and sum returns the addition of all the elements in the list, that is 76. So these are the things that you need to know about lists in Python.